Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video. My name is Amanda and I have a small business called Drinker Crochet, and today I'm going to get down to just the facts. What did my business make in the whole year of 2023? Now, I'm not just doing sales, I'm also taking away all my expenses as well. And boy, are there some expenses. So this is something that I was really curious about when I started my small business. How much can you actually make? So I do have a full-time job. So this is right now my side hustle. And would I love for this to be my full-time job? Absolutely. But after you see the numbers, you're gonna understand why I just can't quit my job yet and make this a full-time business. And so I'm gonna start going through, and we're gonna start with January. Now January, I'm gonna go through the expenses and then I'm gonna go through my income. So I did some spending in January. I spent some money on supplies to Amazon, Hobby Lobby, and Joann's. And my total expenses for January are $239. So I'm starting off with negative $239, and my income for January with my small business is zero. Because most of my income comes from markets, and they're just really, it's just not a good time for markets in January. So that's how I started off the year. And then in February, I did some expenses, or I spent some expenses, and I spent it to Amazon and Joann's. So I spent $149.99 in expenses, and my income in February was zero. Made no money in February because I had no markets. I don't sell online, it's too saturated, but I do really well at markets. And then March. In March, I spent money at Amazon, Hobby Lobby, Bed Bath & Beyond, because they were going out of business and they were selling all their fixtures, which I needed for my displays. And then I spent more money at Hobby Lobby, and then Joann's, Michael's, and Walmart. And my income for March was zero. So for March, I had negative $382.93. So far, the first 3 months of 2023 are not looking good for my small business. But you gotta spend money to make it, right? That's what I told myself. So in April, I finally have a show in April. Now, let's go over some expenses. I had, 3 shows. So I had 3 different booth fees. One was $50, another was $50, and another was $45. And then I spent money at Amazon, Michael's. I bought a pattern off of Etsy, and I spent money at Michael's. Did not realize how much money I spent at Michael's, but wait till the end until you see how much money I actually spent. It's a little ridiculous. So in April, I spent a total of $455.24, but now I actually have some income. So I did, like I said, I did 3 different shows. One was the best show I had ever done up to that point. And then I had a tulip festival and a middle school show, and all 3 brought me to a total income of $1,828.79 for the month of April. So finally, a month that I made more than I spent. Now May, I spent money at Amazon, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, and Aldi's, because I needed more display items, I told myself. And then I spent $249.57 in May. And for income, I had no shows, so it brought in $0. Now let's go on to June. June, I actually have a show, but June is also a month where I spend a lot of money. So I spent a lot of money at Amazon, Michael's, Joann's, Etsy, Dollar Tree, and I had a booth fee. My booth fee was $40. So my expenses for June were $493.05. And my one show brought in $437.12. So I did not quite make any profit in June, but let's go on to July and see what happens there. So in July, wow, just looking at this spreadsheet, it's just like, how did I spend so much money? So I had expenses. I spent money at Amazon, Michael's, Joann's, Etsy, Hobby Lobby, Home Depot, and I had 2 shows. So I had 2 booth fees, both were $40. So I had expenses of $517.55. And my 2 shows brought in the 400s. So total, my income for July was $889.75. So the profit minus loss on this one actually created a profit in July. So that's nice. And then August was a little bit better, I think. I spent money at Amazon and Etsy for a whopping total of $66.49. So I'm pretty excited that I was good in August. And I did not have any shows in August, so I made $0. So that one is a loss. But let's go on to September. So September, the only thing I spent money on were booth fees. And some of these were a little bit pricey. My Cider Days booth fee was $225. My other small town arts and craft fair was $135, and then my small show was $45. So for September I spent $405, and it was all on booth fees. And with those 3 shows, they were some of my best shows. Actually, one is my best show to date, and that brought an income of $3,459.65. Now we're starting to get somewhere. Now let's go on to October. So October, I did spend a little bit. I spent money at Amazon, Michael's, Joann's, and I did have a booth fee of $50. So expenses were $295.46. And my one show brought in $630. So I did make more that month than I spent. In November, oh my goodness. November's so bad because there were so many Black Friday deals. Okay, so I did spend money at Amazon, Michael's, Joann, Etsy. I spent so much, well, I guess it wasn't that much money, but I did buy a lot of items on Etsy for the patterns. And then more Michael's, some shipping, more Michael's, Joann's, IKEA, and then 3 booth fees. I had 3 shows. And those booth fees, the highest was $50. So they weren't very expensive shows. For a total of, I don't even want to say this, I spent $840.88 in November. And with my 3 shows, my highest was $515 and my lowest was $274. So my total income was $1,237. Now I still made money that month. Just, I should have made more profit if I was better at controlling my spending, which is one of the big items that I plan to do in 2024. So far in January, we have had over 2 weeks of January already in 2024, and I have not spent any money for my business. I'm pretty excited. And I've made $20. So far this year, I have a complete profit, is what I'm telling myself. Okay, so let's go to December. In December, I did a little bit better because I was shopping more for Christmas than I was for my small business. And I bought yarn, and I had one booth fee of $25. So my total expenses for December was $178.31. And my one craft show, it brought in $387. So let's go ahead and have my computer total up the math, blah, blah, blah. And income. In total, all of my craft shows brought in $8,869.31. And let's just go over some of these bigger expenses. At Hobby Lobby, I spent $335. That's okay. It's been a year, right? And then at Joann's, I spent $772. Michael's, $941. That's almost $1,000 at Michael's. But they just keep giving you the rewards, and then you have to go spend, you know, more money on yarn so that you can redeem those rewards. Like right now, I've got $20 of rewards at Michael's that I am definitely going to be using, obviously, but that's how they get you. So you keep coming back. And plus, I really enjoy using their yarn. Oh, Amazon was $606. Come on, Amazon. I only spent $100 on patterns on Etsy. Actually, that wasn't all patterns. That was partly my leather tags that I use for my hats. So, did not spend $100 on patterns. And then my booth fees. For the whole year, I spent $880 on booth fees. Some of them were worth it, some of them were not. And I know better for next year. So, my total expenses was $4,266.47. And if you take my income minus my expenses, that brings a total profit before my income taxes to $4,602.84. Now, $4,600 is not enough to be a full-time job, but I have high goals for 2024. And the goal is to bring in $50K a year. Can it be done? I believe it can. Was I putting my whole heart into this to make it a full-time job? No. Because, you know, I already have a full-time job. I mean, I love my job. But it would be nice to actually keep some of those profits instead of giving them to Michael's. So that's my 2 cents. That's my goals. And hopefully this helps you in your journey, or maybe you want to start your own small business and trying to be realistic about what you are bringing in. And don't forget to track those expenses so you know exactly what you are spending and what you are bringing in to see whether you are making a profit or not. Because I didn't make a profit for 4 months. That's not going to pay the bills. So I really enjoyed making this video for you. If you enjoyed it too, please give it a nice thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe so you can follow me on my small business journey as I build this business into an actual very profitable thing that's going to happen in 2024. If you want to see that, hit that subscribe button. And I will see you all next time.